Hello everyone. I hope you are doing great. So this is our second video of this course, and this video we covered lecture 2. So let's solve the example problem together. All right. So you can see we have to calculate what is the profit margin, what is the operating profit margin, and you have given the values for some variables. So to calculate profit margin, operating profit margin, first you need to see the formula to know how you can calculate profit margin. So you can see the profit margin, it basically measures efficiency of the firm. So we have net income over sales. Let's see if we have net income and sales. Yes, we have given net income and we have also given the sales. So yeah, it's very straightforward for calculating the operating profit margin, right? Let's calculate it together. All right, so we have net income. So what is our net income here? So, so net income is 2 to 5, and then so why not we just write all the things first, and then we can go over right interest and tax rate 25%. So we just write it as 0.25, 0.25, and then sales is 3,000, and total asset is given 1,500. Correct. So what is the profit margin? We know that the formula for profit margin is net income over sales, right? We see from our formula net income over sales. So our net income is 2 to 5 over our total sales, and thus our profit margin is 0.0715. That means 7.5%. All right. This is a very straightforward calculation, right? But the tricky part is here, what is the operating profit margin? So when you say it is operating profit margin, the formula is changed little bit because now you have to adjust after tax interest with your net income and sales. So for after tax interest, we have all the information, I believe. Uh, let's do the tax interest. So our after tax interest is here, our interest 100, and we adjust tax rate, and we got tax advantage, as you know, for the interest. So 1 minus tax rate, and thus we get our after tax interest value. So for operating, uh, so the operating profit margin should be after tax interest plus our net income, and we close it. I'm sorry, yeah, close it, close the parenthesis, and then over sales. And thus you can see the operating profit margin is 0.1. That means 10%. All right. Now move to the next part. What is the return on asset of a firm with the given value here, right? So let's go back the return on asset formula. You can see here after tax interest plus net income divided by assets, and you can decompose it into two components. One is sales over assets multiply by after tax interest plus net income by sales, which is equivalent to operating profit margin, right? We just calculated this one, operating profit margin, and you already know that how to calculate this one. Uh, so And in our question, you can see the operating profit margin is given 9%. So you don't have to calculate all these things here. You're already given the value for this one. But what do we have to do? We have to calculate this one, sales and assets. So we have our assets, but we don't have the exact sales value here. In our question, if you can see, there is no exact sales value, right? Okay, so for this sales value, how we can get the amount? Let's do together. So the receivable amount, we have receive receivables 50, and it says 60 days of sale, right? So our days should be 60 days cycle, and for the year we know this is 365 per day, per year. So 365. So for the sales, the average sales we need to find by the formula here, like the receivables, and we multiply it by 365 just to make it annual, and we put parentheses over there, and the cycle is 60 days. Thus we get the value for the sales here. Okay, so now we have the sales value, we have the total asset here, and thus we can get our asset turnover. So see, you can see for asset turnover, now we have sales, now we have assets. So for the sales, let's click here over asset, and now we have asset turnover, and operating profit margin is given to you, which is 9%, so 0.09. So you can now easily calculate the return on asset. You have this component, sales over assets, you have asset turnover, you have operating profit margin. Just multiply these two and you get your expected, your return on asset value. So asset turnover multiplied by operating profit margin, and thus you get the your return on asset value, which is 10.95%. So far so good. Okay, I hope it helps you to understand step by step to calculate return on asset, how it works with the decomposition. So once you get the idea of the formula, once you know how to decompose ROA, and if you have given some values from here, you can easily identify the other remaining variables from this formula. So the tricky part here is to understand the formula, not just memorize, just logically understand how it comes, uh, and then you just plug the values there and you get your expected results. All right. Okay. Thank you.